2 days left here, I guess, before before the sort of unveiling of this team. Where do you feel like you guys are? Or are you still kind of trying to gain some sense of?
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, I mean, honestly, and this is not altogether surprising. I had one starting lineup in mind when we scrimmaged Villanova. We had a guy get hurt. Had another starting lineup in mind when we played Slippery Rock. Had a different starting lineup in mind yesterday when I came to practice, and a different starting lineup when I came to practice today. So to say that from the standpoint of, I think we know who's going to be in the rotation through maybe 8 spots, but to know exactly where they're going to fall in that is a little bit of a different story. So, but yeah, we're still, in some ways, still investigating. We'll know more Friday night. We'll know more Monday night. But these guys have worked really hard. We've been banged up a little bit this week, which is, not what you want going into your first game. And so we've had some guys out and guys that we would certainly like to be playing on Friday night for us. So we'll see how that goes. But if we're healthy, I feel good about where we are relative to where we should be at this time. And so we'll hopefully get a little healthier tomorrow and a little healthier on Friday and see what happens.
Have you ruled anybody out?
No, not ruled anybody out. Cam Davis hasn't practiced since the Villanova scrimmage. And so I'm told that he may go a little bit tomorrow and may have some availability on Friday. So we'll see what happens with that.
Is Marcus Carr doing all right? He had the ankle thing.
I think he's doing all right. He hasn't practiced since the exhibition game. So we're hopeful of having him in practice for some stuff tomorrow. He was able to do a few things non-contact today and moving around, and I would anticipate that he'll play Friday. I feel more strongly about him than I do about Cam at this point.
Is it a foot, ankle?
Ankle. He twisted his ankle, yeah.
Would that be one of your bigger losses if he can't play?
Marcus? Yeah, it would be.
If that does happen, what would be the plan?
Millie would start at the point, and Millie may start at the point anyway, but Millie would start at the point, but we're reasonably sure we'll have Marcus at some length on Friday. We don't know what, but we think he'll be available to play. So I don't know how he'll feel, or hopefully we'll find out more tomorrow in practice.
How do you think you're going to match up against Navy?
They're an older, veteran, experienced group. They have basically 4 starters back from their team last year, 4.5 really. And so in an ideal setting, is that the game that you want your third youngest team in the country to play against on the first time out on the road? Probably not, but they're physical, they're well coached, they're disciplined, obviously, and so we're just going to have to go and play a good game, and there are some things that they do well that we're going to have to defend, and there are some things that hopefully we do well that they're going to have to defend, but we have to go in and execute and stay with our fundamentals and stay with the things that we've been working on basically since the summer and execute those to the highest degree that we can.
It's good for a young team to go out on the road early like this?
I don't know that I think most coaches would say no. Most coaches would prefer to play 8 or 9 home games in a row before you took them out on the road, but we wanted the opportunity to go and do this and participate in this, and we're excited to be going and getting to do some of the things that we get to do at the Naval Academy, and then hopefully we'll we'll play a good game Friday night.
With freshmen, Kevin, in your past years coaching, have you noticed sometimes just talk about Cam and DeMarcus earlier, where these injuries can be as kind of much of a product of bad luck as they are. These guys maybe aren't necessarily used to this kind of a workload where they're still getting acclimated to it. This can just be kind of wear and tear that comes even this early.
Marcus was just a little bit of a freak accident. These guys are used to playing. They're used to, they're not used to the level of contact and that sort of thing, but I don't really think that that's what caused Cam's issue. And I really liked that the NCAA has moved the start date of practice to earlier. Not that we get more practices, because we don't. We get more days off. And I think that's really healthy for the kids, no pun intended. I think that that's a great thing for their bodies to recover. So I think that we're doing as much for them in terms of their bodies having opportunity to recover as we've ever done. And I think that's a great thing. Marcus just twisted his at the end of the game the other night. Nobody was around him. It was just a misstep. And so, but injuries are a part of the game. And you hate to have two guys. I really hate that Cam's missed the last couple of weeks, because he really can impact what we do, especially defensively. And he needs the time. He needs the reps and that sort of thing. Marcus, I'm not too worried about him being out, because he's had a lot of the reps anyway, and I think he'll be fine.
The fact that you have so many freshmen and so many inexperienced guys, is that making the experience for you at practice every day a little more interesting, a little more engaging for you?
Yeah, I think it makes it more important. I think it's important how I react to them, because again, some of them most of them it's the first time at the Division I level, and so it's important how I react to their mistakes. It's important how that they feel my energy and my confidence in them, and so it does make it more interesting. It also makes it more important. It's important that we go out and make progress each day, and sometimes with a veteran group, you can write off a bad day and not worry about it as much. With a young group, you know that you're going to have some bad days also, but it's more important that you try to fix the bad days so that they figure out how to dig themselves out of, a bad couple of possessions or a bad stretch in a game. So we're trying to practice the way that we want to play, and we did a nice job today. We worked hard today, and we executed well. So that's a good sign leading into a game. I'm sure they'll all be excited to play.
Do you have a lot of patience at practice?
Some days, and for some things, I tend to be a little less patient about certain things than. We spend a lot of time running offense and learning offense and executing offense, and I get a little flustered once in a while when we don't run a play right, or if we make the same mistake that we've been making. But these guys have been real easy to coach, and it's still my job to push them, prepare them for the adversity that we're going to face, because we're going to get some. We're going to get hit, and when we do, we have to know how to react. So hopefully we've been trying to accomplish some of that in practice.
What would you say is the most your patience has been tried over the past 2 months? I know
over the past 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, for someone who's not very patient, I would say that I got a little perturbed the other day during the exhibition game when we tried 3 consecutive times to run the same play, and we managed to do something wrong all 3 times, and so I had to call timeout. I felt sorry for the official. He said I scared him. I jumped up and yelled timeout, and he's not supposed to give me the timeout. The player is supposed to have a call, and he gave me the timeout because I think I startled him with my when I yelled timeout to the guys. But I haven't been very frustrated, because the mistakes we make are mistakes of effort and mistakes of aggression, and that's what I want. Parker Stewart missed a shot from about 6 feet behind the three-point line today, and about 30 seconds later, I said, "Hey, Parker, did I say anything negative did I say anything bad about you taking that shot?" And he said, "No." I kind of raised my eyebrows and my palms a little bit, and I said, "So what? So you want me to shoot that?" I said, "Yes." And at times, I have to ask these guys to be more aggressive. They're so intent and committed to trying to please the coaches and do what the coaches want. I need to try to make them more aggressive. Don't worry about screwing up. Worry about not being aggressive. Don't let yourself not be aggressive. These guys have been great. I mean, you know, I sat Jared down yesterday after practice, and he played really well over the weekend, and he played really well in the scrimmage against Villanova. And Monday and Tuesday, his practices were way less. Maybe the two worst ones he's had since he's been here in a row. So I sat him down after yesterday, and I said, "Really? You're going to get 24 on Saturday, and you come back Monday and Tuesday, and that's all I had to say. I didn't have to get mad. That's all I had to say. He comes out and practices his butt off today." So these guys just call it to their attention. They try to do it. They're not always going to be able to, but they try to, which is great for me.
From a maturity aspect, how important is Jared in this whole mix with such a young team and kind of being on the floor alongside Marcus, alongside Parker, and it looked like against Slippery Rock being kind of that mature lead presence.
Yeah, he's Jared's got a good calm about him. I thought, well, there was actually a play. It was in our exhibition game, or it was in our scrimmage against Villanova. I was getting the games confused, where he's just completely trapped. They're full court pressing, and I mean, he's dead, except dead with the ball, except he just didn't panic, and he just sort of kept his poise and kept his composure and kept looking. Again, two guys, I mean, they had him just smothered. And all of a sudden, you just see Jared kind of raise up and fire a length of the court pass, and we end up getting an and one layup. The point is not necessarily what a good play made, but what a poised play made. And it might have been a little lucky, but it was poised to, you know, he just wasn't rattled. And I think that affects other guys. Marcus is a very calm, he plays with a lot of poise. So I think we've got some poised guys despite the fact that they're new to Division I basketball. But Jared's is important. I think guys derive confidence because Jared's pretty confident.
Yeah, I know with Bryce Golden signing his letter of intent earlier today, I don't know if since he's done that, if you're allowed to make any kind of public comments on him.
Do we have it?
We have Bryce's.
We have.
You could talk about him, but you're not.
Okay. The other one probably hadn't. I don't know what time. What time is it in Twin Falls, Idaho?
Yeah, it should be coming in.
Pretty soon. Yeah, we're Bryce is a guy we prioritized, identified early, and Kevin Sutton did a great job with him and the family, but Bryce is a guy that we just think fits who we are. He's an excellent student. He comes from a great family. He's a great team guy. Very physical. He's pretty skilled, and he's very tough. And so those are all things that we value. And he can shoot. And you know, he's about 6'9", and he's thick and he's bouncy. And I mean, now don't get me wrong, he's not perfect, but we think he's going to be a very good player for us. And like I said, he's a guy that we prioritized very early on. And fortunately, it happened for us.